Dan is first. You were first last week, too. Danster, what's going on, my guy? All right, still setting up. Got to grab myself something to drink, and I'll be ready to hold court with you. Just a minute. Old Dan's sitting there with a glass of gin, and he's gonna get lost in the ozone again. He's lost in the ozone again. What you drinking? Well, I'm drinking wine, and I'm drinking gin, and I'm lost in the ozone again. Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen. Aviation gin. Okay, so what's sapphire gin and aviation gin? How is that different from regular gin? You know, I'm so ignorant to the whole deal. Enlighten me, Danster. I know there's different types, like the sapphire aviation. Do you run planes on it at one time, or what? Aviation is a brand name. Okay. So is Sapphire a brand, or is that a type of gin? Isn't Beefeater's gin? Yeah. Tanqueray, Beefeater. Aviation. Bombay. That's what your dad had? Bombay. Yes. Yes. That's all I can think of. Tanqueray. Hat Trick. There's Hat Trick Gin. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think it's Tanqueray. When my friend Eric was alive, go over to his house on a hot summer's day, and he'd throw a gin and tonic in your hand. It wasn't a do you want one. He's like, here you go. Like I used to get out of my truck and walk over to him, and he's already got a cocktail for me. Okay. What's happening, Ma? Dad would have passed on it. So the gin thing is generational. I think we talked about it before, but the reason why Heineken beer came around was because of the smash the like button for Doug and subscribe. Yes, shout it from the rooftops, mama. Yeah, exactly. He's got taste. Yeah. My dad drinks Crown. He loves Crown Vanilla now. That's his jam. And he just Crown Vanilla on rocks, and he is a happy man. No, Gaylord is probably 3 hours away. No, no, Crown is not a bourbon. Crown is a Canadian whiskey and Canadian blended whiskey. And they do have one that's supposed to have a bourbon-esque um, feel to it with a charred oak barrel, but it's not. Blanton's bourbon, yes, I want to try Blanton's. I believe Hillbilly. Tell me if I'm right. Isn't Blanton's have the racehorse on it, and then you've got the cap on the bottle, and it's a racehorse and a jockey and letters, and then if you collect them all, you can spell Blanton's with the horses with the caps. That is correct. Okay, because my friend highly recommend Blanton's. What's going on, Triple M? What's happening, man? Unfinished, I welcome. If I'm mixing just regular cocktail, it's not Crown. Crown usually is reserved for rocks for me. Canadian Club, or I like a Canadian whiskey, especially as a mixer. Or I like Jameson Rocks. Oh, we gotta shut that off. Just a minute. There we go. Labatt's or a Miller High Life? No, it's a Diet Pepsi, but I've got Labatt's in. Yeah, I like Jameson all by itself, just ice. Yep, let that melt a little bit. It's a good sipping whiskey right there. I got Molson. I got both Labatt Blue and Molson Canadian in my fridge. I'll prove it. Boom. So that's my main jam, and every so often I drink that. Oh. Killing weeds and bidding on online auction site. Polar beer from Canada has a socket cast into the bottom of the bottle, which you use to twist off the cap for the next beer. Brown bottle, dark blue. Damien, you had Molson Canadian last year. That's what I gave you. Hell, I gave you a couple of those, I believe. Be careful, Damien. Grand Rapids, Michigan is Beer City, USA. I'll bring you more beer that you never knew you could, never knew possible. Everything from I'll have that again to God no, oh don't bring me no more beer. Yeah, I gave him too many because you don't remember. He only had two. Out of Molson Canadian Labatt Blue, which is the equivalent to Bud Light. Neither. The Labatt Blue is more because Labatt Blue is a Pilsner, so that would be, and so is Miller Lite. So a lot of Miller Lite drinkers will be just fine drinking Labatt Blue because it's a Pilsner and they're used to a Pilsner. You don't have to put on a dress for Molson's. I've got some great I got some Molson swag in my man cave. Back in the day, I used to mix up this stuff called cherry whiskey. This is just store-bought whiskey, some water, some sugar, and some cherry juice. That's all it really is. And it makes it like schnapps. And it takes a metric load of sugar to this thing. Anyways, it's sweet, it's tasty, and people really like it. I used to bring it in a big earthen jug to our vintage campsite every September. And people would just pass that. I'd pass that jug around. People would just drink from. They loved it, and everyone would be. The next day, everyone would have red stains on their clothes from spilling the jug when they were drinking from it. Everyone, it got drunk out that night. One year, my friend Ron, we got him laughing so hard he threw his back out. True story. First time I met him, he threw his back out from laughing. Molson, I'm Buck Melanoma. And I'm not Bob Euchre. Am I in the Grand Rapids area? Yeah. The greater Grand Rapids. Morley Russell's Ward. I'm still pissed about Dog and Sons being closed. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. It's awful pretty up there. Did you go to the Big Buck Brewery? That chandelier inside the Big Buck Brewery is pretty cool. It is, it's this big building. You can see it from the highway, and their sign is a enormous inflatable bottle of beer, and it must be 20 foot tall. And you get off at Gaylord exit, and you got to backtrack to get to it. But it's a cool place. They brew their own beer. And they have this enormous chandelier over the dining area. It looks like a log cabin inside, and exposed timbers and vaulted ceiling. And then they have this chandelier that's huge. It's got to be 12 feet across at least. A circular chandelier, and it's made from nothing but drop tines from deer, and it's all stacked together, and it's pretty impressive. Look it up. You can Big Buck Brewery, Gaylord, Michigan, chandelier. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Big Buck's good. Big Buck is also Big Bucks. But yeah, we used to stop there for usually when we go up north to St. Ignace, we would stop to the Big Buck for a beer and a burger. And always worth it. There used to be a Ponderosa in Gaylord, which was even better, but not no more. At least I don't think. And then the right time of the year, everyone goes to Grayling, Michigan. Grayling is where military training is. So when all the guards, National Guards, when they go play Army for 2 weeks a year, that's where they have to go play. Had corn relish. Yeah, it was good food, brew, and yes, definitely expensive. My lady and I we'd have a beer each, and then we'd split the burger because the burger was that much money. Yeah. Never been to Michigan? Bruce, come on up. Come on over. Check us out. Guarantee you don't want to leave. In Michigan, Bruce, you are never more than 7 minutes away from water. A lake, river, stream. Minnesota touts being 10,000 lakes. Michigan's 11. Go on, Grayling. Oh, you're up there to go on, Grayling? Oh, yay. Lucky you. Mid-November, it starts to get cold, but usually we don't start to see snow, at least down here. Up north, you're more apt to see snow, but down here, it's usually still green. And my birthday is early December, and very rarely is there like snow on the ground, like snow covering the grass, like you can't see grass. No, usually you see the grass blades through the snow, so it's not very much snow. One of my dad's closest friends moved. His father-in-law was part of one of the tribes up in the Upper Peninsula, and he owned a place that was on Lake Michigan shoreline. And after Dad passed away, all of the siblings wanted to be bought out from Dad's estate. Excuse me. And my friend and his wife ended up buying the lakefront house and paying everyone off. And so they moved from West Michigan up to the Upper Peninsula. And he calls my dad all the time saying, I've never seen so much snow in my life. He's like, I ran the snowblower 4 times in a day. And it wasn't just to tidy up. It was actually like to get things clear again so people could come and go. It's like, dang. Yeah, 2 A-10s and 2 F-15 shooting guns. B-2 bombers dropping 2,000-pound J-dams. What is a J-dam? My mom is from Michigan, Hillsdale. Used to get salt rising bread from Allen. Oh, West, yeah, okay, Hillsdale. I think that's over by Highland. I think that's still on the east side of the state, but still, yeah, Michigan, for sure. Salt rising bread. Interesting. 2,000-pound guided bomb. Yeah, and right when you get to the door, you say, knock, knock. Did somebody order a pizza? Learned a lesson real quick delivering pizzas. You've got the big stack of pizzas going to the party, and you show up at the party. Don't hand the pizzas over until you got cash in your hand, because everyone's going to take the pizza from you, and nobody's going to give you money. And then everyone's going to start eating, and then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, you got to go talk to Mark. Who's Mark? He's over there. Can somebody show me Mark? Oh, he's right there. He's in the blue shirt. Are you Mark? No. One time I had to wait for a guy to get done playing with his lady to pay me. So yeah, after that, nope. First man with the cash. Cough up the bill. You got it. Till then, this is mine. We're going to blacklist this address. They called it stinky bread. Live in hot and humid Florida. I like to do some bike riding down in Florida in the winter. Stinky bread. Interesting. Salt rising bread. I don't think I've ever had it. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever had it, at least not knowingly. What bike do I have? I got 3. 72 CB750. Valley Green Gold Stripe, black and red 79 Honda CBX project bike, and then daily driver is a 97 Honda Valkyrie, green and cream. Florida is boring to ride. It's flat and straight roads. Hey, thank you. Yeah, but at least it would be decent weather, because in the winter in Florida, when I'd probably go down to ride, I can't ride in Michigan, so I'd rather be going down flat and straight roads instead of not being able to ride at all. And old geezers in cars. Most important. Yes, most important. A friend of mine lived in Florida for a while, and he responds to an ad in the paper about a boat for sale. But it says you need, call this number. So it's like a twin engine or a 3-engine boat. It's a big boat. And he goes, you can tell by talking to the guy on the phone that he's old. And he's like, yeah, I'm just too old for the boat. And yes, it's for sale for this price. But you got to prove to me that you can handle this boat, because I'm not selling it to someone who can't handle it. This is a lot of boat. So basically, meet me at the marina, and you're going to take me for a ride, and you're going to show me what you can do with this thing. And I'm going to decide whether or not you're a right fit for this boat. Fair enough. So he meets the guy at the marina, and he's like 90 in a walker, and here's this boat ready to rock, and they take it out, and 3 times the old man is standing with his walker. He won't sit. He's standing. He did this 3 times, and he's like, hit it. And my friend says he takes the throttles and he wheels them forward, and the boat starts to climb, and then the old man falls to the back of the boat, He gets out of it again, helps the old guy back up, gets back up, stands, places his walker back on the point, tells him to do it again. He did that 3 times. And then finally, the old gentleman finally took the advice and he sat down. And then my friend passed his test. But yeah, he had to pass the test before he could buy the boat. Dragon's Tail. Oh, yeah, I want to ride that in the worst way. Screw riding in Florida. Too many knuckleheads making U-turns whenever they like. Good point. Excuse me. Buckets and pails. Buckets and pails. Like lunch bucket and lunch pail? Go to the Western North Carolina and ride the Blue Ridge Parkway. That sounds cool. You're excused. No elbows on the table. I'd just like to go south when the weather's crappy up here, just for a change of scenery. Which word do you... Hey, Alex, Huber's Projects. Welcome, my friend. Which word do I use? It's lunch bucket. I've used both, to be honest with you, but I think I say bucket more. Speaking of lunch bucket, check this out. It's not branded, so I don't know what it is brand-wise. The only thing it has on it is a patent number stamped into it. But it's an old lunchbox. Lunch bucket, lunch pail, and it's got metal handles on it. The green makes me think of Stanley green or Aladdin green, but I haven't seen anything other than a patent number on the bottom for what it is. But it's got a push button, and then I've got the lid taken off, and it's got a wire bail to hold your thermos in the lid. And that also serves as the hinge. I want to sandblast this and paint it like Pontiac engine blue, engine colored blue with a white inside. And then I want it custom pinstriped with my name on it. And then from that day forward, it's going to be my lunch pail. Every day at work. Lunch pail. Back when people worked. I used to work with one dude whose wife, he ate like a king every day. His wife was, his lunch bag looked like a backpack. And I mean, he'd break out his lunch and you're just like, holy crap, he's got an appetizer, he's got a side, he's got... Good Lord. Somebody from Florida and South Carolina pull a U in front of me. Oh, yeah. Good way to sneak a pint of whiskey in, too. Hey, Neverboard, what's happening? Never bored. I was up in your neighborhood yesterday. We went up to Montague. Actually, we went up the lakeshore. We started at South Haven, then we went up north to Pier Cove. From Pier Cove, we drove up to Grand Haven. And Grand Haven, as usual, you know Grand Haven, it was just wall to wall people. I don't even know why I bothered to try to go down by the park. Anyways, we from there we went up to Montague. So I must have drove pretty close to where Casa La Neverboard is, or at least I was in the neighborhood. Saw part of the video and got sidetracked. Yeah. Yeah, old Danster was mad because the Dog and Suds was closed on Sunday. You know what? That was the first time I ever seen something like closed on Sunday, and I was actually like, good for them. Instead of, oh man, I was actually like, good for them. Be in Florida next month for 3 days, another vacation. Nice. Sick in August, I think it is. I think it's the beginning of August. The sick, that Tom Bailey's sick drag week kind of thing. They're doing a 4-stop like cruise between drag strips, and Martin Dragway isn't one of them. I was surprised, but it is going to be at Mid Michigan Motorplex in Stanton, Ubley Dragway. Yeah, Stanton, Ubley, Northern Dragway, and another one. I can't think of it. Yeah, there's 4 out of the 5 that are on the tour. Hot Chicago and back. We are getting ready for Rust Belt Randall. Been fixing things on the Meep. It is less sketchy. It is less sketchy than when you drove it to No Name. Wow. Yeah, that's right, because that whole wheel, you were fighting old damage where the wheel was pushed back. Yeah, that's right. Last I knew, you still had to buy sway bar end links. Less sketchy than No Name. Wow. The car was a hammer the whole trip, though. I mean, I was the only one who actually had a mechanical issue. I had a brake rotor warp, and then that made us discover that I had a bad ball joint. And we changed it into O'Reilly's parking lot. New links in, still need to take it for a test drive. That's right. Well, remember, Neverboard, next time you're in Chicago, you gotta have a Chicago dog. Chicago dog. I've been working on, it's down here, rear main seal on my 413, and I got the main out clean. I sanded this flat on my sanded this nice and flat and good and clean, because even just Mopar Joe, still, even he throws a boatload of RTV on the rear main seal on a big block Mopar. So I'm gonna buy the same rear main seal that Joe bought, is the Fast Fish. It comes to you as a one-piece seal, and there's a certain spot that you are supposed to cut it, and then instead of it being 2 moons coming together, now it's a big letter C. And then Joe actually installed his with the crank still in, and he put the little RTV on the tips of the new main seal, and he installed that at 12 o'clock. And he said it actually worked good, and he proved that it wasn't leaking. So it's $85 for that seal, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, if it don't leak. The Model T tour started today, and on to Minnesota, goes till Friday. My lady, a couple weekends ago, was talking about she's been working a lot of Saturdays, and there's a hotel close to where she works. And she said that there was a bunch of enclosed trailers and guys were pulling out like Model T era cars. And then later she said she's seen them running all around our area, which I'm not surprised. This is a beautiful area to go cruise. And I said, so if I had an old like 25 Dodge, would you ride in it with me? And she's like, yeah, I would. And I'm like, that's Lady Dougster. Fixed the sprinkler here like that last week. O-ring at the end of the jet tube tore and blew out and leaked. Cut a larger O-ring into a C and went right in, and it doesn't leak. The brass era cars. Yes, brass era cars. With acetylene lights. Or, yeah, the good stuff. Or even earlier, actual kerosene lamps. Yeah, brass era cars. I love that stuff. Wooden wheels and, you know. I love that old stuff. Who cares if you only go 40 miles an hour? That was good enough for them. I'm sure be walking. The one thing that I would like to do is Haggerty did a 365 days of A, meaning they drove a Model A Ford daily for a year. Every day, every errand, a Model A. And to and from work, commute, everything, car breaks down, you better get your shit fixed because you're not going, because that's your only car. And they said it went great. I'd like to do something like that, like drive my Model A or my 25 Dodge or whatever for a year, just to say, yeah, I drove that for a whole year, blah, blah, blah. Started on my birthday and ended on my birthday. Advanced lever on the steering wheel. A lot of them are really confusing too. You've got the advanced lever on the steering wheel, and you got your throttle, and then you got this, and you got that. And yeah, I like that old stuff. Like that. I kicked myself because auto parts, I talk about them all the time. There was a cool place, is Northwestern Auto Parts in Grand Rapids. They had it all. They had, guys would call them up looking for parts. They had Model T parts. And I'm buying a distributor machine, which is in my shop. I bought a distributor machine from him, and we went into an adjacent building of the main building. And he goes, well, you're here. He goes, Babbitt bearing? And I go, Babbitt bearings? Yeah, Babbitt bearings. And I go, like Babbitt bearing service? He goes, exactly, Babbitt bearing service. And he goes, it's right here. Might as well take a look at it. And he popped open the door, and it was an entire room, and it was the size of the Wolverine garage, like 30 by 30. And the whole outside of the room had pieces of machinery, and then it had like an island in the middle of it with a few more pieces of machinery. He says, everything that you see here for, I think he said $7,000. And I'd be ready to rock, turnkey Babbitt bearing service. Pour it, machine it, do everything I need to do right there. And well, with a hood and everything, but I had to relocate. And I didn't have that kind of scratch anyway, and then in the island table in the middle, he shows me a book, because this guy, Ken, he worked there for over 50 years. And he goes, here's all the engines that I've built in this room. and you flip through it, and it's a bunch of Model A's and a 25 Dodge and you know a whatever Chevrolet, and then you start to notice that like a lot of it are from Anytown, USA. It's really surprising when you start to see like a guy from Nebraska shipped his engine in, but then uh, there was Jaguar engines sent from frickin' England all the way to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to have them do old Babbitt bearing work. And cousin Mike, what's going on? Timing on left. Yeah, I wish I had it. You know, there's part of me that's like first thing that hit my brain is there isn't going to be a whole bunch of people beating down my door to have Babbitt bearing work done. So that was the first thing. I didn't have the scratch anyway, but there's part of me that wished I just had that, because go around to like those Model T tours and stuff like that and start handing out business cards. You never know, I might have a tidy, that $7,000 might make me some tidy money. Wolverine Babbitt Service. Actually, I'd probably name it Northwestern. I'd keep it Northwestern. See if that name's available. Driving to the Los Angeles area in the morning. Wow. Have fun. Living the dream. Nice. There's a guy. Oh, God. He has an elder. Yeah, he was on Flying Dutchman and rebuilds. Oh, rebuilds water pumps. Exactly. That wouldn't be a bad thing to do. Heck, I've got a starter or a alternator, generator, and regulator tester. I wouldn't mind testing and dicking around with alternators and stuff like that. So as long as I can get my hands on good parts. That was a friend of mine, a friend of our family. He passed on, but we brought all our stuff to him to rebuild. And then he was actually complaining about the availability of parts, quality components. And he's like, I can't build a good Ford and I can't build a good Mopar. And he goes, because of the availability of parts, he says, the parts I'm getting my hands on are garbage. He goes, I can still build a good Delco. He's like, GM? Yeah. He's like, there's still a wealth of those good parts out there. I can still build it good the way I like it. But yeah, he says the other two, the availability of parts for him was just putrid. It got to the point where he's like, can you get a rebuild over the counter at your local parts store? Yes. Go do that. He was the guy that you brought your stuff that you couldn't find a replacement for. Then he'd rehab it for you, just to save time. Because he couldn't beat the prices. And that was the other thing is, by the time I go through, it's going to cost you X. And you could have bought it cheaper over the counter at blah, blah. Idaho to California. How long of a drive is that going to be? You're going to LA? LA. Oh, crap. So you probably got at a minimum 15 hours of windshield time. About 11 hours each way. Okay. 15. I was being generous. Yeah. So do you just do you just go straight west and then just drive down through? I guess that would make the most sense. Do you just drive straight west and then down across California? Because Los Angeles is SoCal, right? Yeah, SoCal. I don't think you're going to be taking your Thunderbird, are you? Tune it right, get 20 to the gallon until you hit California gas. The T-Bird's got to stretch its wings. That's right. That's right. It ain't about the miles per gallon. It's about the smiles per gallon. Probably could get it if play your cards right. Probably get pickup mileage 17 to 20. Don't know. Just punch it in the GPS and I'm hauling horses for work. Oh. Right on. Hauling horsepower. If he had a trailer load, if he had a bunch of donkeys on, then Mike would be hauling ass. Full time. Officially hauling ass. And he could haul ass and not have to take 2 trips. Like me. You know what? I'm gonna have me a beer. How about that? Oh no, that means the whole time, because he's hauling a trailer, the whole time he's in California, he has to drive 55. Ooh. Meeting up with Ari? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you guys meet up. That's cool. That you guys have done it before. That's a cool thing. I want to talk to Junkyard D because first of the month we're going out west to North Dakota to get an item. And I'm wondering across, I'm going across Wisconsin. I don't know exactly where Dr. G is, but I think he's in northwest or northeast Wisconsin, and we're going to be going across Wisconsin, the southwest, and headed up by the cities. Oh, you just got here, Casey? What did you miss? All of it. Every last bit of it. It all happened already. Oh, man! I can't drive 55. That's right. Sammy Hagar said it best. He still has that Ferrari Daytona from that music video. How long have I been on? 49 minutes and 32 seconds as of now. Yeah. Jack Stands and Cinder Blocks. I like to call him KC and the Mustache Band. Just think about this. As Casey's working on a hot rod, and all of a sudden he gets an idea, he can go and then suddenly he'll take Mrs. Jack Stands and then tie her to the railroad tracks and go oh. You have a video that premieres in 10 minutes. 10 minutes! Dun, 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 dun. Tick, 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 tick. I don't do it exactly like that, but I should. Well, isn't that what all the bad guys would do with that handlebar mustache, with that big wax mustache? They'd be like, yep. Well, it's not like Casey was purposely trying to, excuse me, encroach upon me. It was just bad timing. So yesterday, in case you didn't see the video, we did our 300. I did my 300 subscriber thank you video with almost 400. But I promised at 300, I promised everyone a ride up the lakeshore. And that's exactly what we did. I rode from here. We went to South Haven, Pier Cove, Grand Haven, and then we went up north, a little further north to Montague to see to try to have a bite at a still operating Dog and Suds, and it was closed on Sunday. But that place was a legit time warp. It was cool to see. The sign is old school. Oh, Ari, were your ears burning? We were just talking about you. All good stuff. Do you get a burnout? I've got a set of tires. I've got 4 tires that need christening. Once shop trucks driving, for sure, burnouts. Eventually we'll lay rubber. Tires are expensive though. Burnouts are cool, but tires are expensive. I'm barely lucid. Ah, JB, welcome, my friend. Yes, Neptune green. Man, I'd love to see Peaches back in that color. Almost makes me want to do a weekend scuff and shoot. Swing by Ari's and do a weekend scuff and shoot. Ooh, Blackstone. Indecisive. What's happening? I've been cooking a lot with the cast iron, basically using my grill as an oven, but I've been cooking a lot on my cast iron on the grill. And yeah, I do this chicken and potatoes dish that it smells so good while it's cooking. You can't be next to it. It's just, all it does is make you hungry. And the more done it gets, the better it smells. And I actually have to just walk away. Otherwise, I'll be like, I'm so hungry. Even with a coat of primer, you could probably paint that truck in a weekend. Primer, paint it, Neptune green, lay it down. What's gonna grill tonight? But it's too late. Tomorrow it's on. Okay. Yeah. Peaches is the 60. Oh, that's right. He's got Betsy. Betsy's a 71? Yeah, it's got the big grill in it. Yeah, it's a 71. Big grill and center mounted bow tie. Mm-hmm. Does it got a big back window or a small back window, Ari? Oh, is it a Scottsdale? Or is it just a regular, like C10? The 60 Apache 10. Oh yeah, I got some sun. See the tan line on top of my arm? And you can tell that's from me hanging onto the throttle for hours, or the handlebars. The C60 or the C70. Wow, those are both big trucks. 72 has the bigger camper style window that opens. The 60 has the small window. Okay. I like the previous generation that had the wraparound back window. Dodge had one too. Those were cool. '72. Okay, it's a '72. It's a nice truck. You could bring that '72 to Michigan, Ari, and sell it for a bundle of money. Rust-free California truck, California title, solid. So probably get 20 grand at least out of it. No. Casey wasn't calling out the mill truck. Was calling out, not really calling out Ari, but Ari's 60 Apache, or its original color is Neptune green, which I found a truck at a couple of years ago at a gas station that was painted. It was that truck in that color. And I sent Ari a picture, and he's like, "Oh my God!" It had like Bonneville style smoothie hubcaps on it, and it had a little bit of a drop to it. Truck was sharp. Sell it, you give me 25%. We all suffer from lazy streaks. Oh, okay, I see. No, it's a C10. I think it's a C10. It's a C10, but a 1960. Used to still have its stove bolt in it until the stove bolt bolted, and now it's got a small block Chevy in it. Hey, Ari, don't be so hard on yourself. You just poured your heart and soul into the front axle on one of your daily drivers, so it's not like you're just sitting on your laurels. I mean, give yourself some credit, my guy. Later, Casey. Good seeing you, man. I work on everything. I have automotive ADHD. I have automotive ADD. I do try to limit it instead of just start another project, just go back and work on the ones that you've got. Get something done, or at least get it closer to done. Because it's so easy to start another project. Well, if you feel like jumping out of here, go check out Casey's live. I'm always ADDing another car. Oh yeah, if I had it my way, if I had the bankroll to do it, I'd have a Jay Leno collection. Oh yeah. I'd have steam cars and all sorts of neat stuff. A sweet little Chevy is wasting away. Fox Dude, what's happening? One from the shorts. I know we're a nice little Dodge. let's make Ari feel even worse. I know where a nice little Dodge is. Man, you had to bring up the Dodge. Just kidding. Hey, I mean, I've owned Shop Truck over 5 years, and I still haven't driven it. It's never even had a drive line in it since I've owned it. So I'm working on the drive line though. That's a nice truck. You gotta imagine I got it work for years in a truck, and it was in similar condition. I'm all ears. Our Kiwi aficionado is here. Welcome, Dean. How's things in New Zealand? Good day. And cut 3 properties. Wow. Danster, the building super. My biggest conundrum with the Dodge is that I'm both unsure of whether my engine build will grenade and also unsure if the work doesn't work on the car itself. Good day, mate. Well, Ari, I understand that the engine build could grenade, but what's the likelihood of it grenading? And the middle 2 letters in life is if. Don't know. Got to buy the ticket and take the ride. And I mean, you really poured your heart and soul into that a few years back. So it's not like it's just some pile of crap that you just lightly tossed together. I put it together. High chances. Well, I mean, it's not like the Brotherhood couldn't get you another 6 block if something bad were to happen. Exactly. I was trying to unfinished project. Totally just spoke what I was thinking. Yes, truth. Yep. Worse than grenading is not knowing either way. What am I thinking on? The car needs a fuel tank, a carb rebuild, and some combustibles. Oh, consumables and hoses, and it's together. Hey, Ari. You're one of us. One of us. You know, and isn't it sad when you're just like it's that close to being done, and even though it's that close to being done, it's still like just the the task is way out on the horizon. I'm going to run the trash pan to 440 with safety squints engaged. Trash pan to 440. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh. Need a hub and drum too. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Oh. I think Shane Polito has brakes from Plan Z. I'm pretty confident he's got the spindles and everything from Plan Z for drum. Shane Planzito! Yes, yes, Shane Planzito. Yeah, he's going discs on. So he might just, for like the price of shipping, send them to you. I know he's been looking for all sorts of stuff. He was looking for like a 69 or a 70 transmission cross member, and he was looking to trade the lightweight one from Plan Z that Tony did. And that thing is Swiss cheese, man. Lenfia. Did I say that right? Lanifa. Hello, Lanifa. I have a care package for Ari sitting here on my bench, and I just realized that I never sent it to him. I just have to look down and see it. Nice. Nice. Gearhead Network. That's what I like. Want to see our part of Ari's care package? Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, Indiana. I forgot all about it. I promised it to him, and then I just realized it's still sitting here. I'm a terrible procrastinator too, Ari. Wish I had the cross member to swap him with. I looked for one to purchase and haven't found one reasonable. Yeah. You just took a 2-hour nap. Well, good for you. Were you cuddling with your dog? Were you and your dog snuggling while you were drooling on your pillow? I've noticed since I got my sleep machine that I don't nap anymore. I'm up for the day. It used to be like an hour nap would be just what I needed. I don't do that anymore. Dogs, actually. All right. Plural. All right. 3 dog nap instead of 3 dog night. And Dutch's one dog is so funny. Beautiful dog. He'll stand in the window. As long as he sees me, he will bark at me. He wants to tear me up. At least he acts that way. Napping can supposedly help you fall asleep at night. Actually, no. A nap will make me stay up later. But now that I very rarely nap, if I'm not feeling good, I will nap. Kylie, hello. But yeah, now that I actually get good quality sleep, very rarely do I ever take a nap. It does it does do that. We were talking about taking naps. And car stuff as usual. Oh, that was surprising. Be funny you should say that because before I was using sleep therapy, it would be nothing for me to get up and pee 4 times. Um, oh, tonight I am drinking beer. I'm only going to have a couple though. I'll probably switch back to Pepsi. But before I was on sleep therapy, it'd be nothing for me to get up 3, 4 times a night to pee. And I'm talking about not like, I need to go, I need to get up and tinkle. It's like, I need to get up and go right now. And that was because my stress level was up so high because I wasn't breathing properly when I was sleeping. I'd actually hold my breath. They timed, I did a sleep study and they said that I was holding my breath 180 times an hour. So that means the whole time I would choke, hold my breath, and then exhale. And each time that would take me up out of deep sleep, and I'd be fluctuating between deep sleep and light sleep, and wasn't getting a lot of that deep, restful sleep. Then I got sleep therapy, and now I can go to bed and I can sleep for 6.5 hours and not have to get up at once at all to use the bathroom. Now I will say this: once I wake up, I better go. I gotta go now. But yeah. Do you snore? Okay, Kylie. Well, Danster, do you snore? Have you ever had someone tell you that you stop breathing during the night? Have your hands ever gone numb? Both hands like tingly? Because that was a thing that was happening to me. My oxygen levels were getting so low because I wasn't breathing properly. All that went away, and my blood pressure went down, and and all sorts of stuff. Nothing but positives happened with getting restful sleep. And the best part is instead of watching before, I would dream not very often, and they'd be just little commercials. Now, when I dream, it's like movies. My hot flashes wake me up at night, and then my bladder says, "Since you're awake." Dang it. Now remember, Colleen, those aren't hot flashes. Those are power surges. Kylie. Commercials and dreams. Advertisers would love it. Yes? Yeah. But I mean, they were the length of commercials. Yeah, I've never looked back from that. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I bring my little trailer down to No Name Nationals and sleep in that. So I outfitted it with a deep cycle battery and an inverter, so I can charge my phone. I can run my sleep machine and everything. And yeah, it's a great little hotel. I love it. It turned out mucho excellent. The Ham's beer commercial for the land of sky blue waters. I think commercials are my favorite thing because it helps me asleep when I'm on the couch. But I have a bed, but I refuse to sleep in it. What's the sleep machine do? White noise? No, Danster. It actually is a face mask. I have the full face one. Other times it's just two little pillows that go up your nose, and it actually forces pressurized air to me. So it actually, with the pressurized air coming in, basically what happens is because of my neck, my airway relaxes. There's the muscle that keeps it open so I can talk and breathe normally. It relaxes when I sleep, and then my throat closes, and that's where it's giving me the issue of breathing. So when I wear the headgear and my mask, then I'm getting a pressurized air at me, and it helps me regulate my breathing, so I'm able to breathe normal and not snore. And my lady Dougster absolutely loves it. She says it's like sleeping next to Darth Vader. Yep, Ari beat me to it, Vader. I'll say, Lady Dougster. Okay. I can't say that. I can't make that joke. No, it's actually a breathing machine. Bye, Kylie. I'm aware of his burping in my sleep and having acid reflux. Then inhaling it happened a few times and it sucked. Danster, did you vomit in your mouth? Is that what you're talking about? Did you vomit in your mouth? If so, that's called GERD, GURD, and it is part of. I started having that issue before I got on sleep therapy. Uh, Maybe you should look into maybe asking your doctor about some sleep therapy stuff. Maybe you need a sleep machine too. Yes, not from alcohol. Exactly, not from alcohol. Yes. Yeah, it's really alarming when it happens too. Yeah, that's GERD, and it's one of the. I actually experienced it, but since I got on sleep therapy, that doesn't happen. So yeah, I think I talk to your medical professional today. Yep, been there, done that. Tell you what's happening? Tell you what, before I could sleep like 8 hours, and I just get out of bed and be like, ugh, and just kind of, kick myself into my day. Since getting on sleep therapy, I actually get up in the morning and say, let's do this. Hasn't been a problem when I don't overeat. Okay. Oh, BiPAP. I'm just CPAP. Use BiPAP, which only pushes when you draw and releases when you exhale. Okay, then I've got BiPAP on too because I've got the release going for me too. Isn't it great and decisive? Yeah, because I don't like it when it's pressured full time because then my cheeks bloat. I look like a squirrel. That the cure is better than the band aid? Yes. Yes. The cure is better than the band aid. Yeah. But a lot of people will, I can't believe how many people will just continue to put the band aid on. I've seen band aid fixes in cars. I knew a guy who had a truck that would burn out a fuse and it wouldn't run. And he ended up learning that it was this particular fuse, and then he used to pull over, change the fuse, and then drive again until the fuse blew. And it would just do it at the most inopportune time. And he drove it for years this way, with it just blowing fuses. Towards the end, before the truck finally gave up the ghost, he was able to change the fuse with the engine would die, he'd shift it into neutral. It was a stick, and let it roll on the side of the road on the shoulder, and he'd open the door just enough, reach up in there. He already had the fuse already out. He knew which one it was. He'd pull it out and put it in, pop the clutch, and off he'd go again. He'd swap the fuse while driving. Box of bigger fuses. Yes. Sometimes the cure is worse than the condition. This is true. Who told my friend about circuit breakers? I just, he would, it was always the same way. If same group of people, different people, but the same group, um, they had an Explorer. It was like an 89 or an 88 Explorer, and the starter went out on it. And I took a hammer, tapped it a couple times, and it started. And I said, you got a bad starter. And so swing down to the local pull apart yard and get yourself one or buy a new one, whatever. Swap it out. Be real simple. That was in like May. I did not see them again until the end of August. And they go to leave and they jump in it and tink, tink, oh, the starter isn't again. Charlie, get out and hit it. And Charlie, he's got a BFH in his hand and he's laying underneath the truck and he is putting haymakers to this starter, trying to get it to go because they graduated way away from tap, tap, tap. Now it's die, MF, die. And he gets a real good clock on it, and now it won't even go tick, tick, tick. And what had happened is he hit it so hard that he busted the ceramic magnet inside the starter. But I mean, he was hitting that thing like it owed him money. And then and only then did they needed a ride up to the pull apart right now, because now the truck doesn't run. And that just blew me away. You had months and months and months of time, but you could just hit it with a hammer and off she'd go. And sometimes you wish you didn't show them those little tricks like that, because guys do stuff like that. Hit it like she liked it. Yeah, pull apart, pull apart, pick apart, your local, pick apart yard. Pull apart is better if you get good OEM parts. Yes, I agree. Pull apart's best when you need all of those. Pull on this. Pull apart is good for when you need like all those delicate little vacuum fittings and all those little special made things that you cannot replace. They only made them for, that year car for General Motors, blah, blah, blah. Pull apart. Pull apart is okay. There's a bunch of pull apart yards now. Some are better than others. There's one in Kalamazoo and it's called Light Truck Parts. And Light Truck Parts is just, they've got a lot of vehicles there. And it's all segregated and by make. And the Dodge section is a long walk from the office. J-Damn Rockets. Yeah, that's the second time tonight somebody talked about J-Damn Rockets. 2,000 pounds, flyable. Hey Kev, what's going on? Oh, I love the junkyard too. Years ago, I was at the pull apart yard. And I just paid I paid the whatever, especially back in the day when they would have 40% or 60% off holiday sales. Like every holiday was 60% off in the yard. So I definitely go and do some scouting periodically. It was only $1 or $2 to walk the yard back then. I think it was $1 or either it was $1 or $2. It's more than that now. But I would go and just scout and never know what you find. And one day, I'm in the GM section and I'm coming up on this GMC Astro van. And I don't know what it was about it, but it made the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And it made me feel weird to the point where I actually walked around it. I went over the next row, walked over and come back and totally walked around it. I've never had a vehicle do that to me before. Some bad juju happened in that. Still $2 at the pull apart? Oh man. Yeah, it's like $4. I want to say it's like $4 to do off the pull apart. what I would do is I would get ready for, if I found something that I wanted and whatever holiday was coming up, I'd go there and start getting it pulled apart to where it was almost fully uninstalled, and just pull a few fasteners and it's done. And then come that time, yank it and buy it. Well, what happens is that if you've got another guy who's eyeballing the same stuff you are, you just did all the work for him, and then he goes and yanks it. So what we ended up doing to remedy that was we would go to a van and we would pull the keys, make sure we could lock up the van, and then we'd pull whatever we needed, and then we'd lock it in the van and write down what it was and what row it was in, and then a few days before the pull apart sale, come back, unlock the van, and get our stuff. So we'd guarantee we'd get it. Because yeah, that happened to me once. No, it did not. The other thing that I would do is a friend of mine turned me onto this one, was look for new parts on whatever. No, you are not invisible, Kev. Was just looking for new parts on those cars. Like something you could tell, like if it has brand new brakes or brand new calipers or whatever, and pull all that off and, sell it for the half price of new or whatever. I mean, that works to a certain extent, but there is no way I'm going to be like, I got brand new Ford Pro brakes. You got a Ford Pro? No? Okay. Got transmission too. Not seeing the same chat. Dang YouTube. Yeah, go to live chat for all messages. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm going to take care of my empty, grab myself something to drink, and I'm going to open the doors here in the foyer. Be right back. Okay, or not throw it in the can barrel, throw it behind the can barrel. I'm back. It's live chat on Apple and all messages on Android. I'm all messaging. Try it now. Operator error. Oh, yeah. Operator error. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. What movie is that from? That was a good movie. It was out there for the era that it came out in. noticed the truck just went by today, and instead of yellow lights across the cab, now they're using bright white lights, which I'm really surprised that the police haven't started to give them crap, because back in the day, if you had a roll bar and you had like Casey highlights on it and you were cruising down the road with those on, you could be ticketed for that in the state of Michigan. They cannot be on while you're driving. Now, if they're fog lights and they're mounted low, they're allowed. But like those cab light or spotlights and stuff like that could not. How about the old school green cab lights? Earache my eye. How'd you like a butt ache? Earache my eye. How'd you like a butt ache? I don't know why cops let people drive with the blue lights. It's pretty bad when I've been cruising down the road and this vehicle's coming at me and it's just blinding me. And to the point where I'm like, okay, this turkey's got his high beams on. And then I bright him, cycle my high beams. And then he cycles his to prove that he's on low beams. And I'm like, holy crap. Because, yeah, I think he was bright before. Wait till he hits high beams for a second. And it's like, holy crap. It's gotten to the point now where I just deal with it. One of the neat inventions of the 50s is Cadillac had the dimmer sensing eye on the dash. And it would see a car coming and it would automatically dim the headlights. How cool is that? And when I was a kid and found that out, that was like the coolest thing ever. I think it was Electric Eye. I think it really was Electric Eye. Or, at very least, Danster, Electric Eye is a Judas Priest song. Time for Sunglasses at Night. And it's a song by Judas Priest. Yes! Danster was already typing that. I'm electric style. Yeah, the only thing worse is Sunglasses at Night is the guy behind you. If you've got a low car, like when we're driving our Toyota, and he's got a big truck and he's got his high beams on behind you. That way, I mean, you're all lit up, and if you needed to read a book while driving, I mean, that's the perfect time. Never did I get to see the Priest. Danster, they're still touring. It's not too late. We should go see the Priest together, Danster, you and me. Watch Robert Halford hit the notes. Still today. Sunglasses at Night. I did that and hit a tree. Back when the song come out. What's even worse is that was done in cars. Here in my car, I feel safe from the world. I would love to deploy a big mirror on those lights. Yeah. Might have been a little drunk. Yes, Gary Newman. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad when you got the alcohol was definitely a factor thing. Oh, yeah. or the next day when your Radio Heart is another great Gary Newman song. I'll have to Radio Heart. Radio Heart. I'll have to try to check that out if I remember. I want a light bar on the back of my van for assholes behind me. It's not like I drive slow. Back in my drinking days, you had to be really drunk to get a DUI. Yeah. Man. There was some guys from the area that just did some absolutely dumb stuff. We all went mud running that afternoon. We met at like noon. It was spring. It just started getting warm out, and that means everything's still good and soupy. And we went out for a big long mud run. And my friend had a chocolate brown, like 79 or 80 Chevy truck. And he's out in the crap with us too. And his mirrors both of them ended up being caked with about 10 inches of mud on each mirror. And we're sitting around, and we park at someone's house, and we proceed to get absolutely snookered. And he thought it was funny that he'd finish a beer, and then he'd shove the beer cans in the mud on the mirror. So he had like 3 on one side and 2 on the other. He thought that was good fun. And then later that night, where he's all hell bent for leather, he's gonna go home, and he's absolutely hammered. And we're like, dude, you need to stay here though. And he's like, I want to go home. And he finally let him go, and he drove 15 miles home, and didn't get stopped, didn't get anything. And it was the next day that he said that he's looking at his truck in the driveway, and he realized that he remembered putting the beer cans in the mud. The beer cans and mud are still on the mirrors and everything. His truck was just coated in the stuff. And he's like, how come you guys let me drive? And we're like, you're going to fight all of us. We just finally had enough of you and turned you loose. Yeah, pull over the local drunk and drive him home. Yeah. I slow down for bright lights. The only thing that slows me. Pull over the local drunk and drive him home. I've heard of that. Up to a truck of 70. So many drunks crashed, almost never an arrest. Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, just a friend of mine was telling me about where he's from in Texas. And he's like, if you've got the to-go cup, he's like, a lot of bars in his area, I forget where in Texas, but he's like, a lot of the bars that he was from, if you bought their to-go cup, and it would be marked, the Sailor's Paradise Bar or whatever. As long as you had their to-go cup, they had a drive-through window, and you could pull up and ask for a White Russian or ask for a cocktail and actually get served a cocktail. And it was legal to have an open container, but you couldn't be drunk. And I'm just going, Texas is different. Yeah, right? Could you imagine just cruising down the road and have a whiskey and water going? And yeah, got the AC chooching, listen to the radio, got my lady with me, having my cocktail. She's got a White Russian happening. Nice. Trees will jump out in front of you. Oak tree, you're in my way. Too much coke and too much smoke. Go home, switch cars, repeat. The neatest thing I ever seen was the drive-through liquor stores in Ohio when we were there. That was nuts. Where, pull up and I want a case of Bud, and yeah, go out, grab the Bud, throw it in the trunk of the car. Louisiana had drive-up bars a few years ago. Don't know if they still do that. I bet you they do. Well, they might or they might not. I have to have some kind of fruit stack Polynesian drink for Apache. Exactly. Ari would have like a Bahama Mama with big old pieces of pineapple with the rind still on it, and of course every drink's got to have an umbrella. I was already typing that when you brought it up. South Dakota has drive-thrus too. Weird. And I lived in Temperance, Michigan, where there wasn't much food to be had. Well, yeah, when you've got a name like Temperance, I hope that it's a dry place. Harong. Hamong. Well, I thought it was strange, being used to Michigan type stuff. We went to see family down in Ohio, and Ohio is totally different. Like we're used to going to the grocery store and grab steaks, grab ketchup, grab mustard, grab relish, grab buns and hot dogs and whatever. And yeah, you want some beer, Bob? Yeah, okay. Grab some beer, and we'll grab a pint. We'll grab a pint while we're here too. And it's like, there's no beer at the store? That's strange. Gotta go to the Liquor Control Commission? Really? Okay. Make a separate trip to the LCC. That was weird. To me. That was also in the 90s when we had to hit the LCC. Ohio sells beer everywhere. Okay, now, does Ohio sell 3-2 beer everywhere, or is it regular full-strength beer? Because I know there's a lot of places, like, you can get a beer everywhere, but a lot of it's 3-2. Like, you actually have to go to a bar to get a 5%er. Kroger's has state stores inside of them. That makes sense. Or as Johnny Cope likes to call him, K. Rogers. 3-2 ended in 82 in Ohio. Good. I'm glad. Because drinking 3-2 beer is a lot like making love in a canoe. It's effing near water. Speaking of which, I'm going to grab myself a drink. I am back. South Carolina has the stupid law too. Can't sell liquor or beer. Stores close at 7 p.m. Monday through Sunday. Closed on Sunday. Damn, that sucks. There is a sea shanty called Johnny Cope, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check now. Definitely have to check that out. Oh, crap. 1983 license said I was 21 and I could buy anything. Ohio has state stores inside grocery stores, but every purchase is in brown paper bag with a receipt stapled to it. Weird. Yeah. Damien, tell you what, blast them and paint them. And then when I see you at No Name Nationals, I'll pay you for whatever it costs to blast and paint for Ari. Ari, pick the color. Brake parts red, black, patina. In 1983, I turned 17. In 1983, I was a little kid. Yeah. So in 83, I would be 5 or 6. Yeah. My birthday's at the end of the year. So in 83, before December, I'd be 5. That's too much? Anything for you, my guy. Be happy to do. No, I wish I could do more, Ari. You pick color. You pick color, I pay now. Crash, what's happening? Welcome. In Geneva, Ohio, that was the only place that were state stores. I was drinking in the bar when I was 12. That's crazy. They burned down the gambling house. Smoke on the water. Fire in the sky. I can ship them tomorrow if need be, but I can also get them blasted and painted. What color? For little to nothing. All right. Yeah. Ari picked the color, and Damien, hand me the bill at No Name Nationals. Or I'll trade you in Canadian beer. How about that, Damien? I'll trade you a Canadian beer for your services. Beer's the perfect payment. They were making records with Motown. Deep Purple was on the Motown label? Okay. At one time, they were a great walking juggernaut. Black is fine, whatever is easy. All right. What was it? I had a I had 99 Durango, and its paint color was deep amethyst pearl coat, and it looked, in the right light, it looked blue, but it actually was deep dark purple, and it was really good looking. Betty, hi. And I did the rear brakes on my truck, and then we're at a friend of mine's house, and he's like, I took a liberty, and I'm like, okay, what'd you do? He goes, I had some purple paint left over, and I just quick squirted your brake drums. It matches, it looks nice, and it was lavender, which is purple. It's fine by me. I took one look at it, and I'm like, good, I like it. He goes, you do? I go, yeah, purple works for me. Nice accent color. And we shipped it. So many of my coworkers are like, it needs to be a darker purple. I'm like, it's purple, it's lavender. It was free, so I'm not complaining. One time I went to Columbus to visit my friend Steve, who was a year older than me, and we went to OSU to visit his brother, and for 2 years older than him. We all went to a bar. I was the only one who got stamped. Lavender drums are more festive than rusty drums. I agree. Well, they were brand new drums too. So I was really happy that my friend's like, yeah, he just quick squirted them for me. Especially lavender paint. Oh, speaking of paint, tonight I watched a video about this guy talking about using baby powder in paint. Actually putting baby powder in paint. And he actually had a hood of a car, and he mixed up some Rust-Oleum enamel, and he got a real dark purple. And he put a bunch of metal flake in it, and then he put baby powder in one, and then ran the other one without, and then painted one side of each. The one side with the regular paint, and it came out really nice and glossy, and then the baby powder, it made the color real flat. It looked like Plastidip, or it looked like primer. It was really interesting. Not that I want that, but it would be cool. I mean, if that's what you're shooting for. If I'm going to paint a car, I want it to be a real beautiful, thick, shiny paint job. You know. Clitty litter sounds like a stripper? Whoa. I used to bottle beer at a brewery as a kid, but I was more focused on the root beer pretzels they made. Very old truck, very old trick. Stripper names were always like Diamond and Levi and Beth and Star. Bordereau's butt paste is better than baby powder. Baby powder and primer was the old way to make a thick sandable primer. So would you actually mix it up in the primer and then shoot it, or would you actually sprinkle baby powder on the wet primer? Buff. Bologna sandwiches for dinner? That's all right. A little lettuce, a little tomato. Yeah. I used to get that stuff for the kid. Nice. Chalky paint, yeah. I mean, if you were looking for a nice matte finish, yeah, but I want it. I mean, old school hot rods are supposed to be shiny and pretty and thick cut Malone Southern style. Ooh. Mixed in with the primer, homemade filler primer. Okay, cool. Good to know. Learned something today. Okay, even though it feels really comfortable in here, the critters are starting to come in and they're biting me. So I'm gonna close the doors. The mosquitoes, and not the airplane. Ah. Yeah, brewing is actually pretty interesting. You've got your activated yeast. The activated yeast eats the sugar, and then as it eats the sugar, its poop, if you will, is carbon dioxide and alcohol. And it's actually pretty interesting. That makes Bonamani in primer to make filler primer. I don't know what Bonamani is. Dan, my compression ratio is too low for powder and paint, then flames, then clear. Ooh. Okay. Flame jobs. Yeah. Hot rods need flame jobs for sure. And you know what's really cool is seeing all the differences in a flame job. You know, these flame jobs and those flame jobs, the little licks or the 5 licks, or you know how you can make a flame job 100 different ways. No need for skeeter spray with green grapes. Yeah, usually. Oh, it's basically Comet. Oh, okay. Wendy, hi, welcome. Now, Comet Cleanser, if you guys got a belt on a car that's squeaking and squawking and making a racket, it doesn't always cure the problem, but most of the time it will. If you've got a belt that's squeaking and squawking and paying a fit, let it run, lift the hood, grab some Comet Cleanser, and then roll right over the belts and just sprinkle it. And I'm talking about sprinkle, tap, 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 a little bit on there, not, you know, not Parmesan cheese on pizza. And because the stuff makes a big old mess. But that stuff will get down on the belt surfaces and it'll actually clean everything up and shut it up most of the time. So there's something you can try. Sign painters use it in their Masonic meetings. How do you know that, Ari? You talked about it. Cut up an onion or 20 and can't get the smell out of your hands, scrub your hands with Comet and they'll get rid of it. Good old Comet wash. I've never done a Comet wash. What we'd always do is just get some old wax and rub a car out to get all that shale off of it and just burn through red rags or whatever color the car was. Toothpaste gets rid of the onion smell. Okay. That way you have minty onions. Drives one of those mini Cutlass convertibles. Like on the Dead Kennedys record. I haven't thought of the Dead Kennedys in a long time. They're actually, it was crazy. There used to be a black, it was primer black. It was a van primer black before the whole murdered out primer black thing was a thing. And it had masking tape, 2-inch wide masking tape, Dead Kennedys logos, DK, in both of the back windows. And I remember it all over my area, seeing it all the time, because how you miss the black primer van with the DKs in the back window. And then I ended up going to a storage place to help my friend go get his boat, and off in the corner of the storage lot was that van parked outside, still with the DKs in the back window. I'm like, hey, I know that van. How do you get the smell of diesel off your hands? You don't. You wear that as a badge of honor, Buff. Yes, toothpaste is a great polish for jewelry. I could have seen the Dead Kennedys in '85 and stupidly passed. Figured they'd be back. They never came back. Clean them with gas. Ah! Use toothpaste for everything but my teeth. Diesel onions if you say my hands. Or the guys that are wrenching, and then like their lady comes home from the fast food joint or whatever. It's like, hey guys, I got you guys some cheeseburgers or whatever, and your hands are all greasy and you're eating your food and you see the greasy fingerprints on your sandwich, and you still keep eating away. Or the guy who smokes, he's got all the greasy smudges on his cigarette and he's still smoking away. He don't care. Good times. Making grease worms. Toothpaste used to lap valves. Oh yeah. Maybe someday when I get a drill press, I want to do like jeweling or engine turning on something using lapping compound in a piece, just to get something with all that cool engine turning marks on it. That's always cool when somebody would take the time to jewel something like that, like the dash on a '79 Trans Am. Do it right, they look like scales on a fish. I got a good toothpaste story for you. A friend of mine's son went to college in Chicago, and school season's over. He's all done, and he needs to move out of his apartment. My friend calls me up, and he goes, I got a crappy job for you. And I'm like, okay. He goes, I need you to drive to Chicago and help my son move out of his apartment. Can you do that for me? He goes, and I said, yeah, I can do that for you. He says, good. He goes, there's a huge reward in it for you. I will pay you handsomely, but I need you to do this for me. All right, fine. So I grabbed the truck and trailer, drive to Chicago, and figure that I know it's on a upper floor of the building. I figured we use the freight elevator. There's no freight elevator. We had to haul all his stuff 5 flights of stairs down, throw it in the truck. So I'm on my way, and he calls his dad, and he needs to buy some drywall mud to cover up all the nail holes in his place. And his dad says to him, he goes, "Oh, that's easy, son. You just use some toothpaste." So he takes some toothpaste and he patches all of the holes in his walls. So I get there and I look around, and there's all these little red dots in various places around the house. He had used red toothpaste. That's all he had. He used toothpaste like his dad told him to. To cover up the white walls. My microphone is scratching. Sorry, Kev. Bye, Ma. When I was your age, I could have lugged 12 bags of ice up 6 flights of stairs. Engine drilled aluminum death. Oh, don't light the ciggy backwards. Lemon juice helps on diesel fuel. Complete soaked in brake fluid. I didn't realize you smoked, Ari. Black grease on a sandwich. Yum. Yeah, buddy. Bye, Damien. Tonight I was smart. I come home, I made my lunch, I took my shower, I did everything that I needed to do before the live stream. So when I'm done with the live stream, I just button everything up and I can go straight to bed instead of having to do the rest of my routine. So I'm getting smart in this old age. I used to. Stuff like that was why I quit. Good for you, man. Yes, Dina laughed at time out. Yeah, I never smoked cigs. Never been my thing. I used to chew tobacco back in the day, but I never smoked. That was never my thing. Good night, Indecisive. Thanks for hanging out with us. As always, see you again. Don't have my wrench here yet. I need tools. Does anybody have a 9/16? You can only get away with so many brake fluid cigs in a lifetime. This is true. This is true. And as expensive as the little bastards are. Whitworth. Yes, Whitworth. I became familiar with those working on English motorcycles. The Whitworth. Can't be trusted to be a moderator. Hey, at least you recognize. You have not smoked in 2025, Tom? Awesome. Awesome. That's good. That's so awesome, Tom. That's so awesome, Tom. Good for you. Keep it up. Good for you, Tom. That's awesome. It took a heart attack for my dad to finally quit smoking, and he cold turkeyed. Had a heart attack in we had an 80 Oldsmobile 98, and we were coming home from dinner at my grandparents' house, and my dad wasn't feeling good, thought he had indigestion, and then by the time that we pulled in the driveway, he was full on bad stuff. Mom called and the ambulance came, and he actually took his smokes out of his shirt pocket and put them in the glove box of our Olds. Mom ended up smoking them, and Dad cold turkey quit. Crazy. Think I might have smoked pot once this year? Oh man. Use brake fluid to strip fly. Doesn't melt the plastic. Okay. To strip the paint, what I've always used to strip paint off of car model bodies is Easy Off Oven Cleaner. And it doesn't hurt the plastic, but it'll take the thing off. I didn't use brake fluid, but okay. Eats the paint right away, but doesn't hurt the plastic. That's awesome to know. Now, does it like stick on the plastic? Does it make it hard to clean off, or will once I get it clean, will paint adhere to it properly again? Easy Off is tough on your ski. I may do models. Yeah, I used to not have my own garage, so when I had my apartment, I built models because I was always been car crazy. But now since we moved here and I have the Wolverine garage, well, all the models I'll get to someday. I did it cold turkey and still don't feel any better. No, he's had a good wrench. Did it cold turkey, still don't feel any better. Is that why? Is that the reason why you quit smoking? Because you didn't feel good, Tom, and you still don't feel better? That stinks. Every chance I get when I get time to do them. Or some nut will get them at my estate sale. I have something actually pretty cool. Hi, Justin. When my grandmother had passed away, and we had an auction at the farm, and the family was cleaning out things, getting ready for the auction, and my dad went upstairs, and he found a Christmas present for me. I'll have to dig that out to show it to you. It's a Kenworth semi-tractor model, and it's new in the box, still in its sealed in its cellophane, and it has a note on it that says Doug on it. So that my grandparents had bought that for me as a Christmas gift, probably not around Christmas time, and then put it away and forgot about it. And Dad goes, "It's yours. It's got your name on it." It's a conventional. I have 2 conventional tractors. I quit because Travis said he was quitting and I thought I would join him. Good. That's awesome. My microphone is cutting out. I think I got some metal shards in the microphone. I've noticed it's starting to get scratchy. I'm due for a new phone. Built a GMC Astro 95 and 78 or so. Man, those Astros had a hell of a windshield in them, didn't they? I mean, if you adjusted yourself while driving down the road, everybody knew what you just did. A lot of those Astros were used for UPS back in the day, and they drove the living tar out of those things. Yep, use the Astro windshields too. I'm not surprised. There's a lot of motorhome companies that use readily available off-the-shelf parts just for that reason and design around it because it's available. AMT, where truck kits were tough to build. Yeah, they have so many pieces. Like the one cab over I did, I painted the engine and I built the chassis and tires and everything. And the only thing I ever got done on the whole thing was, it was mine and Lady Dougster's project. Actually, I built it for her. And we even went to the model. We went to my favorite hobby shop and she picked out the colors that she wanted her tractor painted. And of course, I had to pick a metallic color, but it was going to be plum crazy metallic and black. And it's still awaiting paint. And that was years ago. Yeah, a lot of time, I took a 71 or 69, took a 71 Super Bee model and I built it down to a satellite, and I took apart a die-cast, a NASCAR die-cast. I saved the wheels from it and I took it apart and I salvaged the entire roll cage out of it, and then I took the satellite and I painted it petty blue, and I paid $20 for the sticker kit from New Yesterdays, and I made it into the 71 Richard Petty Daytona 500 themed car, and that turned out really good. You have a couple bull haulers. Those are cool. Those are cool models. I knew it was going to be a 43 car. I've got a couple of them. Yeah, Petty's my guy. I've got 64 Belvedere Petty car. That was a Lindbergh model that I built. And then I custom built the 71 Petty car. And then I have a twin model kit, and it's Richard Petty's Pontiac Grand Prix, and it's Kyle Petty's got a Buick Regal. And they're so one's 43 and one's 44. And they both have reverse paint schemes of each other. I have my friend found a Torino Talladega body and he gave it to me so I could build a Petty Torino Talladega. I also have a Monte Carlo Aero Coupe car body that was given to me by the same friend, and it's meant to be a Dale Earnhardt. But he winked at me. He goes, "If I hand this to you, I know how you're gonna build it." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be blue. It's gonna be a Pontiac." Petty won so much back then. Lots of people were not fans. Yeah. 2 Wrangler cars. Buddy Baker was my favorite. Yeah, Buddy Baker. Buddy Baker drove a wing car. He drove the number 6 car. I have a video of customer's truck with Petty signed the dash. Yeah. He got it. Doesn't Petty have a great signature too? It's just all big and swoopy and pretty. He actually took like a class, a calligraphy class or whatever. He felt if you were going to get his signature, it better be, he wanted it to be something that you would be happy you got instead of just a little chicken scratch on a bar napkin. Petty's what, 105 years old? Oh, he's 108. Dirt is still older than he is, but not by much. Dougster, this is no shit. Google AJ Foyt and Don Wagner Ford. We bought a car from Wagner, and I saw AJ's 7071 Torino there. I remember you telling that story. Love his hats. Oh, I do too. Richard was born in 32. I think he's younger than that. Maybe. Dash, it wasn't signed by Petty. I don't have one yet. I would love it. I'd be so honored if the king were to sign my stuff. Man, be the best thing ever. Yeah, he was definitely born in the 30s. Yeah. Lee Petty's one of our NASCAR founding fathers, too. I noticed one thing that Richard Petty has kind of carried the tradition along from Lee Petty to Richard is they both would smoke cigars at the track. And you'd see videos of Lee Petty, and he'd always have a big old dog turd hanging out of his face. And Richard likes a smaller cigar, more like a cowboy cigar, like a cigarillo, but he still likes his cigars. You're not, oh, Danster, you hit the nail on the head. Oh, 7237. Wow. Thank you, Unfinished. Yes. Don Garlitz is tough to get an autograph. Really? I have a thing that's signed by Don Garlitz. I've misplaced it. I have to find it. I've got Dale Earnhardt's autograph. Raleigh Fingers, the baseball player. I've got Al Kaline, one of the famous Tigers, his autograph. I'd like to go down and see Don Garlitz at his shop, at his museum. That's got to be so cool. According to my drunken math. Sad thing is old Richard's been a widower for quite some time. Linda Petty passed on a number of years ago. And yeah, Adam Petty was proven to be, he had Lee and Richard's driving talent. Not saying anything bad against Kyle Petty, but yeah, Adam Petty had it. Kyle Petty had his own Super Nintendo game, Kyle Petty's No Fear Racing. I played the living bejesus out of that game. Let's go. I'll fire up my Velusa. Velusia. Wow. He just didn't have the talent. He was okay, but he was never a contender. Yeah, wasn't waiting in line. I get that. I get that all the way. When I went to Cooperstown, New York, there was just baseball players standing on the street. It was so cool. Just walk down the road and there's, I seen Daryl Strawberry. I seen Ricky Henderson. I seen Goose Goslin. I seen, just all of these. I talked to Johnny Bench for a little while, and what a wonderful person. And just goes to show they're actually still human. Pete Rose was there, but you had to go down an alley and give the password to the doorman to get you let in. So because Pete Rose is not allowed at the Hall of Fame or at Doubleday Field in Cooperstown because of the whole gambling on baseball thing from the 80s. Still today, he is banned. Yes, Kyle is cool as hell. Yes, he absolutely is. He's definitely got the petty charm. Yes, he definitely has the petty charm. Yes. They had a cackle fest at Summit. No, it wasn't Kamala. I've seen the Big Red Machine in person. Wow, the Big Red Machine. Cool name. Before I met Johnny Bench, I knew of the Cincy Reds, but it wasn't I was like, oh, Cincy Reds. But just how nice Johnny Bench was amazing. Just, yeah, it was humbling to meet someone and just be, it was just like us talking right now. Okay, that's cool. What blew me away when I worked at the pizza place was when Johnny Bench was almost the player in 1970. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. What blew me away working at the pizza place was when someone, in the off chance that someone would order anchovies on their pizza, and the boss would open the till, pull out $20, hand me $20. This is the late 90s. He's like, hey, take a couple pizzas, take the next order out, and then deliver that, and then swing over to the Myers and buy us a couple tins of anchovies and come back. And I said, I should have changed my name. Uh-oh. And I turned to him later after I come back with the anchovies, and I said, why don't we have these on the shelf? We have everything else here. He says, as inoften as people would order anchovy on pizza, he goes, it's not worth us having here. It'll expire on the shelf before it'll sell, and we just end up throwing them away. So if that's the case, he's like, we just, whatever it finally gets ordered, we just go pick some up. That way we don't have them here to go bad. And I'm like, that makes sense. Ari is a great name. I got to agree to that. General Ambrose Falcon Vernia. Falcon. or Adler, which is German for eagle. Daryl Eugene Strawberry Sr. I figured it was a stage name, but that actually is his last name. No pineapple on pizza? Okay. Though I agree to a certain point. Ham and pineapple pizza is actually pretty good. Ham and pineapple pizza, add bacon. It's tremendous. But that's the only ham and pineapple. That's the only pineapple on pizza. Any other time, keep the pineapple off the pizza. But ham and pineapple, add bacon. Yeah, that's good. He speaks at churches out here. Wow. Dick Trickle is a horrible name. Yes, it is. Dick Trickle? You know, you can see the doctor about that. Oh, the race car driver. Save the pineapple for dessert. I'd still enjoy ham and pineapple pizza if that's all there is. I think it's pretty good. He was from Wisconsin Rapids, about an hour from me. Dr. G, welcome. He could jumpstart your car with his wang. Wow, that's a pretty impressive wang. The old Family Guy, when they were doing the spoof on Back to the Future, and Quagmire's actually getting somewhere with Lois, and they're at the dance, and he holds her close, and she's like, Glenn, there's something. He's like, it's just my wang, baby. It's just my wang. Art Afrons. What a great guy. That's awesome. The Green Monster. Art Afrons thought outside of the box. There's so many great gearhead guys like Art Afrons. That's cool, Kevin. Gordy Johncock, two-time Indy winner, lives not far away from me. I don't know where, but I know. Main Street Mopar, what's happening? Anthony, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome. One of the winningest dirt track drivers ever, I think. I think plenty of pictures of Mr. Trickle smoking while driving. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've heard that many times. Like on caution laps and stuff. You'd see guys had actual push-button cigarette lighters in the car, so they'd smoke on caution laps. They wouldn't smoke while driving. Promise not to start anything. I grew up well in my high school, lived behind Don, Clementon, and Clayton, Ohio. Moved to Pittsburgh, right next door to my mom's parents. That's crazy. Chris Fisher, what is happening? Chris Fisher, you know, he's the one of the inheritors of the Fisher body fortune. You know, he's got the Fisher building in Detroit, which is actually a very cool thing. When you guys are bored on the old LubeTube, look up the Fisher building in Detroit and look at the main floor. There's a theater next door to it too. And the chandeliers and everything in that room is just fantastic. There's murals. It's got arched ceilings and murals on the ceiling and stuff. It's really cool. Built by the Fisher brothers, the Fisher body fame. Don Klinsmann hit a home run in Game 3 of the '69 World Series for the Mets, I believe. Green Monster, you could hear that thing for miles when it fired up. Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah! As a matter of fact, I used to shoot pool with a guy whose dad started Bratton Raceway. And Bratton Raceway used to be a drag strip. And then the problem was where the shutdown lane was going by the road. And then they figured that the cars were getting faster and faster. And then they finally decided that they weren't going to drag race there anymore. And they turned it into a road course. And so the big long straightaway is the drag strip. Is the old drag strip, and then you shut it down and hit a corner. And it's a really cool track. And Curly was his nickname, and Curly's dad was friends with Art Arnfonts, and one of the Green Monsters used to sit in their driveway at their house because he just left it there. He's like, "Mind if I leave this here?" And Curly's dad's like, "Sure, yeah, that's fine." It's got to sit outside, and he goes, "That's fine." So yeah, he said that he'd walk right past the Green Monster. Bathing in the glory of being. Canton Hall of Fame is, the Canton, football. Yeah, in Canton, Ohio. Football Hall of Fame is right down the street from me. Never been there. Don't plan on either. Ball sports is boring to me. I like baseball. I love baseball. I like my Lions football, and I love hockey. Basketball. When I was a kid, I liked basketball, but not anymore. No helmet. I mean, hey, you can do anything you want on your last day, Danster. Hey, if you're going to go that far out, you might as well have a few cocktails before you jump in it, too. It's a bad idea. Years ago, some friends of a friend of mine wanted us to join their motorcycle club. And at first, everything looks good. And so they invite us over to their clubhouse, and they're like, no dues, no rules. As long as you're not a prick, come hang out with us. And I said to my friend Freckle, I'm like, these guys are all right. And he's like, yeah, they're okay. And I'm like, so what do you think of this MC thing? And he kept changing the subject. So later on, we're over to his house another day, and I go, so why'd you keep changing the subject over at the MC? And he goes, I didn't want to talk about it there, but I'll talk about it now. He goes, Doug, those guys ride from bar to bar to bar to bar to bar, and all they do is drink. They get drunk and they ride motorcycles. And he goes, that's why I'm not part of their club. And then soon after he told me that, the guy, Brian, who was trying to recruit me and Freckle, he had a bad wreck on his motorcycle, and guess who was drunk? And I'm like, oh, that proves it. So yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go to the bar. Let's have a beer, maybe two if we hang out a good long time. But I'm all for having a drink or two maximum, and eventually we'll ride on. But not like have six and then go to the next bar and drink six and go to the next bar and drink six. See who can block sand the fastest. Filling out my next month bills paper. Well, go Wendy, go. Block party. Yeah, I've done the block party. Well, a couple summers ago now, we just did a quick primer shoot on Lady Dougster's Beetle, and I did burgers and dogs and all the cold pop and or beer that you can handle for an exchange for a little bit of work, and we got it. We took us the entire weekend, Friday and Saturday, and I ended up painting the car and actually I finished the body work on Sunday morning, and it was almost sundown when I finally shot the car. But got it done in a weekend. Wendy, you can do mine. Straightening body panels for cross country skiing. What is a bill of lading exactly? Okay, a bill of lading is what is on the semi truck. So if I said, I need to see your bill of lading, driver, he will hand it to me and I will look at the bill of lading and I'll say, oh, okay, it's got 30 skids of tortilla chips on it. Okay. And it should be weighing around, 15,000 pounds or anything like that. So that's what a bill of lading is what the load is on your truck. Troll alert, y'all. I got some of the best here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. Actually, I won't. I'll stay quiet on that. A bill of lading, BOL or BL, is a legal document issued by the carrier to a shipper acknowledging the receipt of goods for shipment. It serves as a receipt and contract of carriage document of title. Same as a shipping receipt. Thank you. Thank you, UP. I don't want to end up in a duel while drunk. I've never actually seen them in person, but I do know of a person who actually owns a set of flintlock dueling pistols. Like present them and, dueling pistols. But he's told me about them many times, but I've never seen them. That's crazy. Tells if the load was loaded by drunks. Mostly because I'm unarmed. UV's papers are full of curveballs like that. Okay, we are going to roll for another 10 minutes and we're going to button it up. Yeah, usually we have, usually when we ship out, you'll get 2 copies of documents, so you'll have to sign 2 sets of documents. It's the same thing twice, and then you'll get one in a sticky packet to stick on your freight, and the other one you actually carry in the truck with you. German laden to load. Inside the ladle, perhaps ladle. Huh. City taxes versus country taxes are crazy. I work within a city and I actually have to pay city tax. And I thought the first time that like they would eventually just give it back because I'm a non-resident. No, they keep my money. Thanks. Cost me like a few $100s a year to work in the city. Great. The loading crew got drunk and the driver wrote down loaded by a bunch of drunks. Boss was like, what the hell? What the hell, Kevin? Just how does one value a cow for the tax man? Well, I mean, think of the cow. If it's not a dairy cow and it's a beef cow, and so everything has a value. So, you probably would buy it by the pound. So if it's a 1,700 pound animal, 1,700 pounds times X. But then again, you've got to take into consideration the weight of the bones and the weight of the organs and the weight of the hide and all that other stuff that takes away from your actual meat. Well, hey, send all the ribeyes here and I'll do my part to get rid of the cow problem. Did some ribeyes the other night for dinner on, what was that, Saturday night. And those turned out excelente. I was the only sober person involved. I don't know, man. I don't want to be drunk at work. I'll buy the first once after work, man. Let's go to the bar. I'll buy the first round, but let's wait until after work. Just like guys that go smoke doobs at work. Why? Last thing I want to do is be high at work. I want to actually achieve stuff. Yeah, ribeye is excellent. Yeah, ribeye cooked right, good stuff. Prime rib's awesome too, but that's a little on the pricey side. I don't like to drink until my car or truck is home for the day. That's one that I'm starting to do, Dan, because boy, it just ain't worth it getting caught, man. Yep, swinging meat is different than live cattle. For yeah, yep. Yes, yeah. I bring my A game. Yeah, have a once I'm done working because I find well usually back in the day when I would drink a lot, unless I'm highly motivated, a lot of times once I start to drink, I kind of taper off of work and eventually it's more or less sitting around the project drinking beer, not doing anything, just drinking beer, hanging out drinking beer. Did pork barbecue ribs yesterday and going to do the no name nationals this year. Ooh. Mmm. Trying to figure out what I want to do for my, because we're all going to do a dish to pass, I believe. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as my dish to pass. Whatever it is, it'll be good. My brother lost his left hand to a muffler press because he was high after lunch. Man, yeah, exactly. Man, I used to work with a guy that he smoked a lot of pot, And if he didn't get an opportunity to go out and smoke his pot and he would start to sober up, he would start to mess up on his paperwork side of things. Shut the company down for my brother's ignorance. Ooh. At least Kim, I don't know if that is for sure, but I think we might be having a potluck. Don't quote me on that. That's what I thought I heard. So take it for what it is. Maybe? And we would actually turn to that guy and say, hey, don't you need to go out and do a yard check? Because he was working in the shipping office. Don't you need to do a yard check? Yes, I do need to do a yard check. And he would go out for 20 minutes and he'd come back and he'd be all, but I'll tell you what, he was rock solid for the rest of the night. It was weird. My pot ain't so lucky. I experimented with drinking while doing body work back in the 90s and my beloved 68 Cougar doing body work. Thankfully, I was only on one panel, the waviest panel in the car once it was done. Potluck, I'd still smoke some. Community cookout. I think it might be like a dish to pass. I think that there might be a community cookout. I think that people are going to actually like do some meat and then everyone brings like a dish to pass kind of thing. Like I think we might have a community supper, which I think would be really cool. That's going to be cool. I mean, it's already like a big family reunion once a year, so why wouldn't we all get together and break bread? I mean, and we could have Ron Ward say the grace. The remaining lawns are walking distance on Sunday afternoon then. On Saturday afternoon then. I don't know. Maybe some people more in the know can answer on that one. Kevin, good night. I'm about ready. About another minute. I'm going to button it up too. Yeah, that'd be real nice to break bread with everyone. Thinking about maybe bringing something to ride around in the pits, like a pit bike or something like that. My friend's got a few pieces that maybe I could borrow from him so I have something to buzz around on. Doesn't have to be fast. Potato bread. To go with the potato cam. Potato bread is good though. Makes good sandwiches. Well, it is time. Potato wine? Really? Oh well, potato wine. That's got to be vodka. Well, it is 3 hours. So, thank you everyone for coming tonight and hanging out as always. I always have a great time here, and I know you guys do too. So, come back again next week. Same Dougster time, same Dougster channel. Hey, let's be just like the Beach Boys. Let's get together and do it again. Bye, everyone.